Have you ever wondered why Japanese seniors seem to move with such grace and vitality well into their 80s and 90s? While visiting a small village outside Tokyo last year, I was absolutely amazed watching a group of 80-year-old residents performing their morning exercises together in the local park. What struck me wasn't just their impressive flexibility or balance, but the genuine joy and energy radiating from their faces. These weren't people who had spent decades in expensive gyms or following complicated fitness regimens. Instead, they had something far more powerful, a collection of simple, daily movements that had become as natural as breathing. Today, I'm going to share with you the 7 movements that form the foundation of Japanese longevity and vitality. These aren't trendy exercises or complicated routines that require special equipment. They're time-tested, gentle movements that anyone over 60 can start doing today, regardless of their current fitness level. In fact, many of these movements can be done while seated, making them perfect for those dealing with mobility challenges or balance concerns. But here's what makes this truly special. Within the next 30 days of consistent practice, you're going to notice improvements in your mobility, balance, and daily comfort that you might have thought were impossible. I've seen it happen countless times with my clients, and today, I want it to happen for you too. So grab a comfortable chair, make sure you have a glass of water nearby, and let's begin this journey together. We're going to start with the first movement in just 60 seconds, so stay right here with me. Before we dive into these 7 life-changing movements, let me paint a picture for you of what daily life looks like for Japanese seniors. Picture this. It's 6 in the morning in a quiet neighborhood in Kyoto. While most of the world is still sleeping, 75-year-old Tanaka-san is already in her garden, gently stretching her arms toward the sky. She's not rushing, not straining, just moving her body with the same mindful attention she gives to preparing her morning tea. This isn't exercise to her, it's simply part of being alive. This is the fundamental difference between how we in the West often approach movement and how Japanese elders integrate it into their lives. We tend to think of exercise as something separate, something we have to motivate ourselves to do. But in Japanese culture, particularly through practices rooted in traditions like Radio Taiso, movement is woven into the fabric of daily living. It's not about burning calories or achieving a specific look. It's about maintaining the body's natural ability to move, breathe, and function optimally throughout life. Now, I want you to know that every single movement I'm about to share with you has been carefully chosen with your safety and comfort in mind. If you're over 60, your body has wisdom that younger bodies don't possess. You know when something feels right and when it doesn't. I want you to honor that wisdom throughout our time together today. If any movement feels uncomfortable, if you have balance concerns, or if you're dealing with specific health conditions, please have a sturdy chair nearby and don't hesitate to modify anything I suggest. Your safety is far more important than perfect form. Also, while these movements are gentle and have been practiced safely by millions of Japanese seniors for generations, I always recommend checking with your healthcare provider before starting any new movement routine, especially if you have chronic conditions or concerns about your physical capabilities. Think of me as your guide, but always remember that you are the expert on your own body. Here's how we're going to spend our time together today. I'll introduce each movement, explain why it's so powerful for senior health, demonstrate how to do it safely, and most importantly, give you practical ways to weave it into your daily routine. After all, the magic isn't in doing these movements perfectly once. It's in doing them consistently, day after day, until they become as natural as combing your hair or brewing your morning coffee. Are you ready to discover the first movement? This is the one that sets the tone for everything else, the movement that has started millions of Japanese mornings for over 90 years. It's called Radio Taiso, and in the next 2 minutes, you're going to experience exactly why it's been called the fountain of youth in movement form. Movement 1. Radio Taiso, the morning awakening glows. Your eyes for a moment and imagine starting every day with the jarring sound of an alarm clock, but with gentle music guiding your body through movements that awaken every muscle, joint, and system in your body. This is Radio Taiso, and it's about to become your new favorite way to greet each morning. Radio Taiso, which literally means radio exercises, began in Japan in 1928 and has been performed by millions of Japanese people every single morning since then. But this isn't just nostalgic tradition, it's brilliant biomechanics wrapped in accessible movement. The beauty of Radio Taiso lies in its comprehensive approach to mobility. In just 3 to 5 minutes, you're going to move your spine in every direction it's designed to move, activate your circulatory system, and prepare your nervous system for an active, energized day. Let me explain why this is so crucial for those of us over 60. As we age, our bodies naturally become stiffer after hours of sleep. Our joints produce less synovial fluid, our muscles tighten, and our circulation slows down. Radio Taiso addresses all of these age-related changes with surgical precision, but in the gentlest possible way. Let's start together right now. If you're comfortable standing, please do so. If you prefer to remain seated, that's perfectly fine. Every movement I describe can be modified for a seated position. Begin by standing tall or sitting with your spine straight. Imagine a string attached to the crown of your head, gently lifting you toward the ceiling. This isn't about military posture. It's about finding your natural alignment. Now, let's wake up your shoulders. Slowly lift both arms out to your sides, as if you're gently spreading wings. Don't force the movement. Let your arms float up to shoulder height. Feel how this opens your chest and encourages deeper breathing. Now, slowly circle your arms forward, making large, comfortable circles. You're not trying to create wind here. You're simply encouraging blood flow to your shoulders and upper back. After 5 circles forward, reverse the direction. Notice how this simple movement is already creating warmth in your shoulders and upper back. Let's add your spine to the movement. Keeping your feet planted firmly, slowly turn your upper body to the right, as if you're looking over your shoulder to wave at a friend. Don't force this turn. Go only as far as feels comfortable. You might hear some gentle pops or creaks, and that's perfectly normal. Your spine is simply releasing tension that built up overnight. Return to center, then turn to the left with the same gentle attention. Now, let's wake up your side body. Raise your right arm overhead and slowly lean to the left, creating a gentle arc with your torso. You should feel a pleasant stretch along your right side. Hold this for just a moment, breathing naturally, then return to center and repeat on the other side. This lateral movement is crucial because most of our daily activities happen in front of us. We rarely move our spine sideways, which can lead to stiffness and imbalance. For the final part of our Radio Taiso sequence, we're going to activate your legs and improve your balance. If you're standing, march in place very gently, lifting your knees only as high as feels comfortable. If you're seated, simply lift your feet alternately, as if you're walking while sitting down. The goal isn't to get your heart racing. It's to encourage circulation in your legs and activate the muscles that support your balance. Let's finish with deep breathing. Place one hand on your chest and one on your belly. Take a slow breath in through your nose, letting your belly hand rise more than your chest hand. This engages your diaphragm, your body's most efficient breathing muscle. Exhale slowly through your mouth, letting your shoulders drop and your body settle into relaxation. Congratulations! You've just completed your first Radio Taiso sequence. How do you feel? Most people notice an immediate sense of alertness and warmth throughout their body. This is your circulation responding to the gentle activation, your joints celebrating the lubrication, and your nervous system appreciating the wake-up call. The genius of Radio Taiso for seniors lies in its adaptability. Everything we just did can be modified based on your current abilities. If raising your arms overhead is comfortable, raise them only as high as feels good. If standing feels unstable, every single movement can be done seated. The key is consistency, not perfection. Here's how to make Radio Taiso a natural part of your morning routine. Many of my clients find success by linking it to something they already do every morning. Perhaps you could do your Radio Taiso sequence while your coffee brews, or right after you brush your teeth, or while listening to your favorite morning radio program. The Japanese often do Radio Taiso to specific music, but any pleasant, upbeat music that lasts about 4 to 5 minutes will work perfectly. I want to address something important here. If you're someone who has always thought of yourself as not a morning person or someone who struggles with morning stiffness, Radio Taiso can be genuinely transformative. The gentle movement helps your body transition from sleep to wakefulness in a way that honors your natural rhythms while addressing the physical challenges that often make mornings difficult for seniors. One of my clients, Margaret, is 73 and had been struggling with morning stiffness for years. She told me that getting out of bed had become something she dreaded because her body felt so rigid and uncomfortable. After just 2 weeks of doing Radio Taiso every morning, she called me with excitement in her voice. "I can't believe it," she said, "but I actually look forward to getting up now. My body feels like it remembers how to move." This is the power of Radio Taiso. It's not just exercise. It's a daily reminder to your body that movement can be joyful, that your body is capable of grace and fluidity regardless of your age. It sets a tone of gentle strength that carries through your entire day. As you practice Radio Taiso over the coming weeks, you might notice that you naturally begin to move with more awareness throughout your day. You might find yourself taking deeper breaths, standing a little taller, or moving your shoulders more freely. This isn't coincidence. It's your body responding to the daily reminder that movement is natural and good. Now, let's move to our second movement, one that the Japanese consider so important they have a special word for it. It's a movement so simple that you might dismiss its power, but I promise you, by the time we're finished exploring it together, you'll understand why it's considered one of the pillars of healthy aging. Movement 2. Sanpo, the art of gentle walking. There's something profoundly beautiful about watching elderly Japanese people walk. They don't rush, they don't shuffle, and they don't move with the hesitation that we often see in Western seniors. Instead, they walk with what I can only describe as purposeful presence. Every step seems intentional, grounded, and connected to the earth beneath their feet. This quality of walking, this mindful approach to one of humanity's most basic movements, is called Sanpo. Sanpo is more than just walking. It's a philosophy of movement that recognizes walking as medicine for the body, mind, and spirit. In Japanese culture, the daily walk isn't something you do to burn calories or reach a step count. It's a moving meditation, a way to stay connected to your environment and maintain your body's natural relationship with gravity and ground. For those of us over 60, walking becomes increasingly important, but it also becomes more complex. Balance concerns, joint stiffness, and reduced muscle strength can turn what was once effortless into something that requires thought and planning. Sanpo addresses these challenges by focusing on quality over quantity, mindfulness over speed, and consistency over intensity. Let me explain why walking is so crucial for senior health, and why the Japanese approach to walking is particularly beneficial. When you walk, you're not just moving your legs, you're engaging your entire body in a complex orchestration of balance, coordination, and strength. Your core muscles are working to keep you upright. Your arms are naturally swinging to maintain momentum and balance, and your cardiovascular system is gently activated without the stress of high-impact exercise. But here's what makes Sanpo special. It's designed to be done multiple times throughout the day in short segments. Rather than thinking you need to take one long walk, Sanpo encourages several short walks that fit naturally into your daily routine. This approach is perfect for seniors because it's less intimidating, easier on the joints, and more sustainable over time. The ideal Sanpo session lasts between 10 and 15 minutes, and research shows that walking for just 10 minutes after meals can significantly improve blood sugar control, which becomes increasingly important as we age. This post-meal walking also aids digestion and helps prevent the afternoon energy crash that many seniors experience. Let's talk about the technique of Sanpo, because how you walk is just as important as how much you walk. Stand up if you're comfortable doing so, and let's explore proper walking posture together. If standing isn't comfortable right now, you can practice these concepts while seated and apply them during your next walk. First, let's establish your foundation. Feel your feet connected to the ground. If you're wearing shoes, take a moment to notice how your feet feel inside them. Are they comfortable? Do you feel stable? Proper footwear is crucial for safe walking, especially as we age. Your shoes should provide good support, have non-slip soles, and fit properly without being too tight or too loose. Now, let's work on your posture. Imagine that same string we talked about during Radio Taiso. Gently lifting the crown of your head toward the ceiling. Your shoulders should be relaxed, not hunched forward. Many of us develop a forward head posture from years of looking down at books, computers, or phones. In Sanpo, we practice bringing the head back over the shoulders, which improves balance and reduces strain on the neck and upper back. Your arms should swing naturally at your sides. Don't force the movement, but don't keep them rigidly still either. Natural arm swing helps with balance and actually makes walking more efficient. If you use a walking aid like a cane or walker, that's perfectly fine. The principles of Sanpo still apply. You're just adapting them to your current needs. Now, let's talk about your steps. In Sanpo, we focus on taking smaller, more controlled steps rather than long strides. Longer strides might seem more efficient, but they can actually increase your risk of tripping and put more stress on your joints. Instead, focus on taking steps that feel natural and comfortable. Your foot should land under your body, not far out in front of it. As you walk, try to land on your heel first, then roll through to your toe. This natural rolling motion helps absorb impact and maintains the health of your feet and ankles. If you have foot problems or balance issues that make heel-toe walking difficult, don't worry. The most important thing is finding a walking pattern that feels stable and comfortable for you. Let's practice the breathing aspect of Sanpo. As you walk, or as you imagine walking, breathe naturally through your nose when possible. If you need to breathe through your mouth, that's fine, but nose breathing helps filter and warm the air, which is especially important in cooler weather. Your breathing should feel relaxed, not forced. If you find yourself getting winded easily, slow down. Sanpo is about sustainability, not speed. One of the most beautiful aspects of Sanpo is its emphasis on awareness. As you walk, notice your surroundings. What do you see, hear, or smell? This mindful awareness serves multiple purposes. First, it keeps your mind engaged and present, which can help with cognitive function. Second, it keeps you aware of your environment, which is important for safety. Third, it transforms walking from a chore into a pleasant, even meditative experience. Many seniors tell me they've stopped enjoying walks because they're worried about falling or because walking has become uncomfortable. Sanpo addresses these concerns by emphasizing preparation and gradual progression. Before you begin any walk, take a moment to check your surroundings. Is the path clear? Are there any obstacles or hazards? Is the lighting adequate? This isn't being overly cautious. It's being wisely prepared. If balance is a concern for you, start your Sanpo practice in a safe, familiar environment. This might be your hallway, your backyard, or a quiet sidewalk in your neighborhood. You can even practice Sanpo indoors, walking from room to room with mindful attention to your posture and movement. The goal is to build confidence and establish the habit before expanding to more challenging environments for those dealing with joint pain or arthritis. Sanpo can actually be therapeutic when done correctly. The gentle, rhythmic movement helps lubricate joints and can reduce stiffness. However, it's important to listen to your body. If walking causes sharp pain, stop and consult with your healthcare provider. But if you experience the kind of stiffness that improves with gentle movement, Sanpo might be exactly what your body needs. Let's talk about timing your Sanpo sessions. The Japanese traditionally take short walks after meals, particularly after lunch and dinner. This timing isn't arbitrary. It's based on understanding how movement affects digestion and blood sugar. A gentle 10-minute walk about 30 minutes after eating can help stabilize blood sugar levels, improve digestion, and provide a natural energy boost. Morning Sanpo sessions can be wonderful for setting a positive tone for your day, especially if you combine them with your Radio Taiso practice. You might do your Radio Taiso to wake up your body, then take a short Sanpo walk to further energize yourself for the day ahead. Evening Sanpo can help you transition from the activities of the day to the restfulness of evening. A gentle walk after dinner, while there's still some natural light, can aid digestion and help prepare your body for better sleep. Just be sure to finish your walk at least an hour before bedtime so you don't interfere with your natural sleep rhythms. Weather doesn't have to stop your Sanpo practice. Obviously, extreme weather conditions require common sense modifications, but gentle rain, light snow, or mild heat shouldn't prevent you from maintaining your routine. Dress appropriately for the weather, wear proper footwear, and adjust your route as needed. Many seniors find that maintaining their walking routine regardless of minor weather variations actually helps them feel more resilient and adaptable if outdoor walking impossible or comfortable for you. Indoor Sanpo is absolutely valid. You can walk through your house, down hallways, or even in place while focusing on the same principles of posture, breathing, and mindfulness. Some of my clients have created indoor walking routes that take them through different rooms, making the experience more interesting and engaging. I want to share a story about one of my clients, Robert, who is 78 and was convinced his walking days were behind him after a minor fall that shook his confidence. When I introduced him to the concept of Sanpo, he was skeptical. "I can barely walk to the mailbox without feeling unsteady," he told me. "How is this supposed to help?" We started with just 5 minutes of indoor Sanpo, walking slowly and mindfully from his living room to his kitchen and back. I taught him to focus on his posture, his breathing, and the feeling of his feet connecting with the floor. After a week of this gentle practice, he admitted he was sleeping better. After 2 weeks, he said his morning stiffness was improving. By the 4th week, he had graduated to short outdoor walks and was amazed at how much more confident he felt. "I thought walking was just walking," he told me recently. "I didn't realize there was a right way and wrong way to do it. Now I actually look forward to my walks because I feel strong and balanced instead of worried and unsteady." This is the transformation that Sanpo can create. It's not about walking farther or faster. It's about walking with intention, awareness, and respect for your body's current capabilities while gently encouraging improvement. As you begin to incorporate Sanpo into your daily routine, start small. Even 5 minutes is beneficial. Focus on consistency rather than duration. It's better to walk for 5 minutes every day than to walk for 30 minutes once a week. Your body adapts to regular, gentle stress much better than to sporadic intense effort. Pay attention to how you feel before, during, and after your Sanpo sessions. Many people notice improved mood, better energy levels, and enhanced sleep quality. These benefits often appear before any changes in strength or endurance, so they're important indicators that your practice is working. Remember, Sanpo, a practice, not a performance. Some days your walk might feel easy and energizing. Other days might feel more challenging. Both experiences are normal and valuable. The key is showing up consistently and treating your body with kindness and respect. Now, let's move to our third movement, one that might surprise you with its simplicity and power. This movement is something every healthy baby masters before their first birthday. Yet many adults over 60 struggle with it. It's a movement that predicts independence and longevity better than almost any other physical test. It's the humble but mighty practice of sitting down to the floor and standing back up. Movement 3. Sitting to floor and standing. The independence test. You want you to take a moment and think back to when you were a child. Remember how effortlessly you could plop down on the floor to play, then spring back up without using your hands. For children, the floor is just another place to be, as accessible as a chair or a couch. But somewhere along the way, many of us develop an unconscious fear of the floor. We start avoiding low seating. We hesitate before sitting on the ground at a picnic, and eventually, the floor becomes foreign territory. In Japanese culture, Floor sitting remains a natural part of daily life throughout all ages. Traditional dining, tea ceremonies, and meditation often take place on floor mats, which means Japanese seniors maintain their relationship with the floor far longer than most Western adults. This isn't just cultural preference, it's preventive medicine in action. Research has shown that the ability to sit on the floor and stand back up without using your hands is one of the strongest predictors of longevity and independence in older adults. It's called the Sit-Rise test, and it evaluates multiple aspects of functional fitness simultaneously: leg strength, core stability, balance, flexibility, and coordination. More importantly, it reflects your ability to navigate real-world challenges that become increasingly common as we age. Think about it. If you can get down to the floor and back up safely, you can pick up something that's fallen, play with grandchildren at their level, garden without a kneeling pad, or handle an unexpected fall with greater confidence. These aren't just convenient abilities, they're fundamental to maintaining independence and quality of life. Now, I want to be very clear about something important. If you haven't been on the floor in years, we're not going to start by asking you to sit cross-legged and spring back up. That would be neither safe nor realistic. Instead, we're going to approach this movement with patience, respect for your current abilities, and a progression that builds. Let's start by assessing your current comfort level with this movement. If you're sitting in a chair right now, let's begin there. The movement we're going to practice is called the sit-to-stand, and mastering it from a chair is the foundation for eventually working toward the floor. Place your feet flat on the floor, about hip-width apart. Your knees should be at about a 90-degree angle. If your chair is very high or very low, this might feel awkward, and that's information worth noting. Scoot forward so you're sitting near the edge of the chair, but make sure you still feel secure and balanced. Now, here's the key to a safe and effective sit-to-stand. The movement begins with your nose, not your legs. Lean forward slightly, bringing your nose over your toes. This forward lean shifts your center of gravity over your feet, which makes standing much easier and safer. Many people try to stand by pushing straight up, which actually works against gravity and puts unnecessary strain on the knees and back. Place your hands on your thighs if you need support, but try to use them as little as possible. The goal is to let your legs do the work while your hands provide just enough assistance for safety and confidence. Push through your heels and stand up smoothly. Don't rush the movement. Smooth and controlled is always better than fast and jerky. Now, let's practice sitting back down with the same attention to safety and control. Stand about 6 inches in front of your chair. Reach back with your hands to make sure the chair is there. Then begin to sit by sticking your hips back and bending at your hips and knees. Keep your chest up and your weight over your feet as long as possible. This controlled descent is actually more challenging than standing up, but it's crucial for building the strength and control you'll need for more advanced versions of this movement. Let's do this 3 to 5 times, focusing on smooth, controlled movements. How did that feel? Many people are surprised to discover that they can stand from a chair without using their hands, or that they can do it with much less hand support than they thought they needed. If standing from a regular chair feels too challenging right now, don't worry, you can practice this movement from higher surfaces first. A kitchen stool, the edge of a bed, or even a chair with cushions added to increase the height can all serve as training tools. The principle remains the same: nose over toes, smooth controlled movement, and gradual progression toward greater independence. Now, if sitting to stand from a chair feels comfortable and controlled, we can begin to explore the progression toward floor sitting. But I want to emphasize that this progression might take weeks or months, and that's perfectly normal and appropriate. Your safety and confidence are far more important than speed of progress. The next step in the progression is sitting on a low, sturdy surface. This might be a coffee table, a low bench, or even a stack of cushions that creates a surface about 12 to 15 inches high. Practice the same sit-to-stand movement from this lower surface. Notice how the decreased height requires more leg strength and balance. If this feels too challenging, Spend more time building strength and confidence with regular chair sit-to-stands. For those who feel ready to progress further, we can explore safe ways to get closer to the floor. One excellent intermediate step is using a sturdy coffee table or ottoman. Sit on the edge with your feet flat on the floor. From here, you can practice controlled lowering toward the floor by sliding forward and supporting yourself with your hands on the table behind you. If you decide to try sitting on the floor, please have a sturdy chair or couch nearby for support, and consider having another person present for safety. Start by sitting on the edge of your chair or couch, then gradually lower yourself down using your hands for support. The goal isn't to achieve perfect form immediately. It's to maintain a safe, progressive relationship with this fundamental movement. Getting back up from the floor requires strategy, especially for seniors. The safest method is often to roll to your hands and knees, then use a chair or sturdy surface to help yourself back to standing. This isn't cheating, it's smart movement that respects your body's current capabilities while working toward improvement. Let me share some modifications that can make this movement more accessible. If joint pain or stiffness makes traditional sit-to-stand difficult, you can try a sideways approach. Instead of facing straight forward, angle your body slightly to one side as you stand, which can reduce stress on sensitive joints. For those with balance concerns, having a wall nearby can provide psychological and physical support. You might practice your sit-to-stand with your back to a wall, which provides a reference point for balance and a safety backup if needed. If you use a walker or cane regularly, you can absolutely incorporate these aids into your sit-to-stand practice. The goal is to build strength and confidence within your current capabilities, not to abandon the tools that help you move safely. One of the most important aspects of this movement for seniors is the confidence it builds. Many of my clients tell me that mastering the chair sit-to-stand has changed their relationship with their bodies. They feel more capable, more confident, and less worried about their physical limitations. Sarah, who is 68 and had been avoiding low seating for years after a knee replacement, started with chair sit-to-stands and gradually worked her way down to sitting on a low bench. "I never thought I'd be able to sit on the ground at my grandson's soccer games," she told me. "Now I not only sit on the bleachers, I sometimes sit on the grass with the other parents. It's like I got a piece of my life back." The psychological benefits of maintaining this movement are just as important as the physical ones. When you know you can get down and back up safely, you're more likely to engage in activities that might require floor sitting or low seating. This increased activity and engagement contributes to better overall health and quality of life. As you practice this movement, pay attention to which parts feel most challenging. Is it the strength required to stand up, the balance needed during the transition, the flexibility required to sit comfortably? This information helps you understand where to focus your efforts and what additional movements or stretches might be beneficial. Some people find that their sit-to-stand improves dramatically with just a few weeks of consistent practice. Others need more time to build the necessary strength and coordination. Both timelines are normal and acceptable. The key is consistency and patience with the process. Remember, this movement is a gateway to independence. Every time you practice it, you're investing in your future mobility and confidence. You're also challenging multiple systems in your body simultaneously, which is exactly the kind of functional training that's most beneficial for seniors. As we move forward to our fourth movement, we're going to explore another fundamental pattern that builds on the sit-to-stand foundation. This next movement is going to strengthen your legs and hips while providing support and safety, making it perfect for building the confidence and capability that supports all your daily activities. Movement 4. Supported squats, building your foundation of strength. If I told you there was one movement that could strengthen your legs, improve your balance, protect your knees, and make everyday activities like getting out of a car or rising from a toilet significantly easier, you'd probably be interested, right? Well, that movement is the squat, but not the intense, gym-style squats you might be imagining. I'm talking about gentle, supported squats that respect your body's current capabilities while building real, functional strength. In Japanese culture, squatting positions are naturally integrated into daily life. From traditional toilets to gardening positions, Japanese seniors regularly use squatting movements that keep their hips, knees, and ankles mobile and strong. This cultural integration of squatting helps explain why Japanese seniors often maintain better lower body strength and mobility compared to their Western counterparts. For those of us over 60, the squat is particularly valuable because it mirrors so many daily activities. Every time you sit down and stand up, get in and out of a car, or rise from a low position, you're essentially performing a squat. By practicing supported squats regularly, you're directly improving your ability to perform these essential life tasks with greater ease and confidence. But let's address the elephant in the room. Many seniors have been told to avoid squats because they're bad for the knees. This misconception has kept countless people from one of the most beneficial movements for joint health and functional strength. The truth is that properly performed squats are actually protective for the knees, hips, and back. The key phrase here is properly performed, and that's exactly what we're going to focus on today. Let's start with the setup for your supported squat. You're going to need something sturdy to hold onto. This could be a kitchen counter, a sturdy table, the back of a heavy chair, or even a doorway if you have one that feels stable. The important thing is that your support is at about hip height and won't move or tip when you apply gentle pressure to it. Stand facing your support with your feet about hip width apart. Your toes should be pointing slightly outward, not straight ahead. This slight outward angle is more natural for your hip joints and allows for better movement mechanics. If pointing your toes straight ahead feels awkward or uncomfortable, trust your body's wisdom and allow for that natural outward angle. Place your hands on your support with a light grip. Think of your hands as being there for balance and confidence, not for pulling yourself up and down. The goal is to let your legs do as much of the work as possible, while your arms provide just enough assistance to keep you feeling safe and stable. Now, let's explore the movement itself. The squat begins with your hips, not your knees. Think about sitting back into an imaginary chair that's positioned behind you. As you initiate the movement, push your hips back and allow your knees to bend naturally. This hip-first movement pattern is crucial for protecting your knees and ensuring that you're building strength in all the right places. As you lower down, keep your chest up and your spine in its natural curve. You don't need to go very deep. Even a partial squat provides significant benefits. Lower only as far as feels comfortable and controlled. For many seniors, this might be just a few inches at first, and that's perfectly appropriate. At the bottom of your squat, pause for just a moment. This brief pause eliminates momentum and ensures that your muscles are doing the work rather than relying on bouncing motions that can stress your joints. Then, drive through your heels to return to the starting position. Think about pushing the floor away with your feet rather than trying to pull yourself up with your arms. Let's practice this together. Start by just sitting back slightly, as if you're beginning to sit in a chair, but then change your mind. Feel how this engages your leg and hip muscles. Now try going a little deeper, always maintaining control and stopping at a depth that feels challenging but safe. The beauty of supported squats is their adaptability. If you're dealing with knee issues, you can limit your range of motion to just the top portion of the movement. If balance is a concern, you can hold on more firmly to your support. If you have hip restrictions, you can modify your stance width or foot angle to accommodate your body's needs. For those who find even supported squats challenging, you can start with partial movements. Simple weight shifts from one foot to the other while holding your support can begin to build the strength and coordination needed for full squats. You can also practice the sitting back motion without actually lowering very much. Just getting comfortable with the hip hinge pattern that's fundamental to safe squatting. One common mistake I see with seniors learning to squat is the tendency to allow the knees to cave inward. This puts unnecessary stress on the knee joints and reduces the effectiveness of the exercise. As you squat, think about keeping your knees pointing in the same direction as your toes. If you notice your knees wanting to collapse inward, try widening your stance slightly or focusing on actively pushing your knees outward as you lower down. Another important consideration is breathing during your squats. Breathe in as you lower down and breathe out as you stand back up. This natural breathing pattern supports your core stability and helps maintain good form throughout the movement. Don't hold your breath, as this can cause unnecessary tension and even affect your blood pressure. The timing of your supported squats can be easily integrated into your daily routine. Many of my clients find success by doing a few squats while waiting for their coffee to brew or their tea to steep. The kitchen counter provides perfect support, and the timing works out beautifully. You brew your beverage, do 5 to 8 gentle squats, and by the time you're finished, your drink is ready. Others prefer to incorporate squats into their bathroom routine, using the bathroom counter for support. This location provides privacy for practice and creates a natural association with other daily habits. Just make sure any surface you use is truly stable and at an appropriate height for your body. The progression with supported squats should be gradual and patient. You might start with just 3 to 5 repetitions, focusing more on form and comfort than on quantity. As you build strength and confidence over weeks and months, you can gradually increase the number of repetitions or slowly decrease the amount of support you use. Some people find that they can gradually move from using both hands on their support to using just one hand, then perhaps just fingertips for balance. Others discover they can increase their depth of movement over time, squatting a little lower as their mobility and strength improve. Both types of progression are valuable and should be celebrated. Let me share a story about one of my clients, Dorothy, who is 74 and had been struggling with getting up from low chairs and car seats. She was becoming increasingly frustrated with what she called her weak legs and was starting to avoid situations that required her to sit in lower seating. When I introduced her to supported squats, she was skeptical. "I can barely get out of my recliner without using the arms," she told me. "How am I supposed to do squats?" We started very conservatively, with her simply practicing the hip hinge movement while holding onto her kitchen counter. She would sit back just a few inches, pause, then return to standing. We did this for about 2 weeks. Gradually, she began to squat a little deeper, always within her comfort zone. After about a month of consistent practice, she called me with excitement. "I got up from my grandson's little chair without using my hands," she said. "I didn't even realize I was doing it until I'd already done it. My legs just knew what to do." This is the kind of functional improvement that supported squats can provide. You're not just building isolated muscle strength, you're training movement patterns that directly translate to real-life activities. Every supported squat you do is practice for getting out of chairs, rising from the toilet, stepping out of the bathtub, and countless other daily movements for those dealing with arthritis or joint stiffness. Supported squats can actually be therapeutic when done gently and consistently. The movement helps lubricate the joints and can reduce stiffness over time. However, it's important to distinguish between the mild discomfort of moving stiff joints and the sharp pain that indicates potential injury. If you experience sharp pain during squats, stop and consult with your healthcare provider. The mental benefits of mastering supported squats are just as significant as the physical ones. Many seniors tell me that learning to squat again gives them a sense of strength and capability they thought they had lost forever. This confidence boost often extends beyond physical activities into other areas of life. Weather and location don't have to interfere with your squat practice. These can be done indoors year-round, and they require no special equipment beyond a sturdy support surface. This makes them one of the most accessible and practical exercises for seniors, regardless of their living situation or physical limitations. As you continue practicing supported squats, pay attention to how they affect your daily activities. You might notice that getting up from chairs becomes easier, that your legs feel stronger when climbing stairs, or that you feel more confident in situations requiring quick balance adjustments. These improvements often develop gradually, so keeping a simple log or mental note of your experiences can help you appreciate your progress. Remember, the goal in to perform perfect squats or to squat as deeply as someone half your age. The goal is to maintain and improve your functional strength in a way that supports your independence and quality of life. Every supported squat you do, an investment in your future mobility and confidence. Now, let's transition to our fifth movement, one that addresses an area of the body that's often overlooked but incredibly important for senior health and comfort. We're going to focus on your feet and ankles, the foundation that supports everything else and plays a crucial role in balance, circulation, and daily comfort. Movement 5. Ankle and calf mobility. Your foundation for balance. Have you ever noticed how a baby's feet are constantly moving? They flex, point, wiggle, and rotate almost continuously when the baby is awake. This natural movement keeps their feet and ankles incredibly mobile and helps develop the intricate network of muscles, tendons, and proprioceptors that form the foundation for balance and movement. Unfortunately, as we age and spend more time in restrictive shoes and sedentary positions, we often lose this natural ankle mobility, which can have far-reaching effects on our overall health and stability. In Japanese culture, the importance of foot and ankle health is deeply understood. From traditional footwear like geta and zori that require active foot engagement, to practices like walking barefoot indoors, Japanese seniors often maintain better foot and ankle mobility than their Western counterparts. This attention to the feet isn't vanity. It's practical wisdom about the foundation of human movement. Your ankles are remarkable joints that must balance mobility with stability. They need to be flexible enough to adapt to uneven surfaces and mobile enough to allow for normal walking patterns, yet stable enough to support your entire body weight and provide a solid foundation for balance. This dual requirement makes ankle health particularly important for seniors, as decreased ankle mobility is strongly linked to increased fall risk and reduced quality of life. Let's start by understanding what happens to our feet and ankles as we age. The natural aging process can lead to decreased flexibility in the Achilles tendon, reduced range of motion in the ankle joint, and weakened muscles in the feet and calves. Additionally, years of wearing restrictive footwear can cause the small muscles of the feet to become weak and underactive. These changes can contribute to balance problems, increased fall risk, and conditions like plantar fasciitis or Achilles tendonitis. The good news is that feet and ankles respond beautifully to gentle, consistent movement. Unlike some joints that have limited capacity for improvement, the feet and ankles can often regain significant mobility and strength with appropriate exercises, even in seniors who have been sedentary for years. Let's begin with some simple ankle mobility exercises that you can do while seated, making them perfect for people with balance concerns or limited standing tolerance. Sit comfortably in your chair with your feet flat on the floor. We're going to start with what I call ankle alphabet exercises. Lift your right foot slightly off the ground, just enough to move it freely. Using your big toe as an imaginary pencil, slowly draw the letter in the air. Make the letter as large as your ankle mobility allows, but don't force the movement. The goal is smooth, controlled motion through your ankle's available range of motion. Continue through the alphabet, or at least through the first 10 letters. Notice how this simple exercise moves your ankle in multiple directions, up and down, side to side, and in circular motions. You're not just improving flexibility, you're also challenging the small stabilizing muscles around the ankle and improving proprioception, which is your body's awareness of where your joints are in space. Switch to your left foot and repeat the alphabet exercise. You might notice that one ankle feels stiffer or less coordinated than the other, and that's completely normal. Our bodies often develop asymmetries over time, and these exercises can help address those imbalances. Now let's move to some specific ankle movements that target the most important directions of motion. Point your toes away from you as if you're trying to touch the floor with your toes while keeping your heel elevated. This movement is called plantar flexion, and it stretches the muscles on the front of your shin while strengthening your calf muscles. Hold this position for just a moment, feeling the gentle stretch. Now pull your toes back toward your shin as far as comfortable. This is called dorsiflexion, And it's particularly important for seniors because limited dorsiflexion is associated with increased fall risk and difficulty with stairs. You should feel this movement in your calf muscles and possibly in your Achilles tendon. Hold for a moment, then relax. Let's add some side-to-side movement. Turn your foot inward, as if you're trying to show someone the sole of your foot. This movement is called inversion. Then turn your foot outward, showing the outside edge. This is eversion. These movements help maintain the ankle's ability to adapt to uneven surfaces, which is crucial for safe walking on sidewalks, grass, or any irregular terrain. For those who can stand comfortably, we can add some weight-bearing ankle exercises that provide additional benefits for balance and functional strength. Stand near a wall or sturdy surface for support if needed. Rise up onto your toes, lifting your heels as high as comfortable. This calf raise exercise strengthens the muscles that help propel you forward when walking and provides power for activities like climbing stairs. Lower down slowly, controlling the descent rather than just dropping down. The slow lowering phase, called the eccentric portion of the exercise, is particularly beneficial for building strength and improving the shock-absorbing capacity of your calf muscles. Now try the opposite movement. While keeping your heels on the ground, lift your toes as high as possible. This exercise strengthens the muscles on the front of your shins, which are important for lifting your toes during walking to prevent tripping. These muscles often become weak and underactive in seniors, contributing to the shuffling gait pattern that increases fall risk. Let's add some dynamic movement with heel-toe walking. If you're comfortable standing and have adequate balance, this exercise can be done holding onto a wall or counter for support. Take a step forward, placing your heel directly in front of the toes of your other foot, as if you're walking on a tightrope. This challenges your balance while encouraging proper foot placement and ankle mobility. Take several steps in this heel-toe pattern, using support as needed. If this feels too challenging, you can modify by simply walking with deliberate heel-to-toe foot placement without requiring that your heel touch your toes. The key is encouraging proper gait mechanics and challenging your balance system in a controlled environment. One of the most beneficial ankle exercises for seniors is calf stretching, particularly stretching the Achilles tendon. Tight calf muscles and Achilles tendons are incredibly common in seniors and can contribute to balance problems, foot pain, and altered walking patterns. For a seated calf stretch, extend one leg out in front of you and flex your foot, pulling your toes back toward your shin. You should feel a gentle stretch in your calf muscle. Hold this stretch for 20 to 30 seconds, breathing normally. This can be done several times throughout the day and is particularly beneficial first thing in the morning when muscles tend to be stiffest. For those who can stand, a wall calf stretch can be very effective. Stand about arm's length from a wall and place your palms against it. Step your right foot back about 2 to 3 feet, keeping your heel flat on the ground and your leg straight. Lean gently into the wall, feeling the stretch in your right calf. Hold for 20 to 30 seconds, then switch legs. The timing of ankle and calf exercises is quite flexible, making them easy to incorporate into your daily routine. Many people find that doing ankle circles and stretches first thing in the morning helps reduce the stiffness that often accumulates overnight. Others prefer to do them before bed, as the gentle movement and stretching can be relaxing and may help with sleep quality. These exercises are also perfect for times when you're sitting for extended periods. Whether you're watching television, reading, or waiting in a doctor's office, you can discreetly exercise your ankles and help combat the negative effects of prolonged sitting. For those dealing with conditions like diabetes, ankle and calf exercises become even more important. Diabetes can affect circulation and sensation in the feet, making foot and ankle health crucial for preventing complications. The movement and stretching help promote blood flow and can help maintain sensation and function in the feet. Let me share a story about James, a 70-year-old client who came to me complaining about balance problems and frequent near falls. During our initial assessment, I noticed that his ankle mobility was severely limited, and he walked with a shuffling gait that barely lifted his toes off the ground. We started with simple seated ankle exercises, much like what we've been doing today. Within just 2 weeks, James reported that his morning stiffness was significantly better. After a month of consistent practice, his walking pattern had noticeably improved. He was lifting his feet more and taking longer, more confident steps. "I didn't realize how much my stiff ankles were affecting everything else," he told me. "Now I feel more stable when I walk, and I'm not as worried about catching my toe on things." This illustrates how addressing seemingly small issues like ankle mobility can have profound effects on overall function and confidence. The connection between foot and ankle health and overall balance cannot be overstated. Your feet contain numerous sensory receptors that provide constant feedback to your brain about your position and the surface you're standing on. When these receptors become less sensitive due to stiffness or lack of movement, your balance system suffers. Regular ankle and foot exercises help maintain the sensitivity of these proprioceptors, keeping your balance system sharp and responsive. This is one reason why people who maintain active lifestyles often have better balance as they age. Their feet and ankles continue to receive the varied stimulation needed to maintain optimal function. As you practice these ankle and calf exercises, pay attention to how they affect other aspects of your movement and comfort. You might notice improvements in your walking pattern, reduced morning stiffness, better circulation in your feet, or enhance overall balance and stability. Remember, consistency is more important than intensity with these exercises. A few minutes of gentle ankle movement every day is far more beneficial than occasional longer sessions. Your feet and ankles support you every day. Returning the favor with daily attention and care is one of the best investments you can make in your long-term mobility and independence. Now, let's move to our sixth movement, one that specifically targets your balance and stability. This exercise might seem simple, but it's actually one of the most powerful predictors of fall risk and overall stability in seniors. We're going to explore the art of single leg standing. Movement 6. Single leg balance. Your stability superpower. There's a simple test that can predict your risk of falling, your overall health status, and even your longevity better than many complex medical assessments. It's called the single leg stand test, and it involves something as basic as standing on one foot. While this might sound almost too simple to be meaningful, research has consistently shown that the ability to balance on one leg for even a few seconds is one of the strongest indicators of overall physical function and independence in older adults. In traditional Japanese martial arts and daily practices, single leg balance appears in countless forms, from the crane-like poses in Tai Chi to the simple act of putting on shoes while standing. Japanese culture maintains numerous opportunities for balance challenge throughout daily life. This integration of balance training into routine activities helps Japanese seniors maintain better stability and confidence as they age. For those of us over 60, balance becomes increasingly important, yet paradoxically more challenging. The systems that control balance, your inner ear, your vision, and your proprioception, your body's sense of where it is in space, all naturally decline with age. Additionally, muscle strength, reaction time, and joint mobility all play crucial roles in balance, and these typically decrease over time as well. But here's the encouraging news. Balance is remarkably trainable, even in seniors. Unlike some aspects of aging that are largely beyond our control, balance can be significantly improved with appropriate practice. The key is progressive, safe training that challenges your balance system without putting you at risk of falling. Before we begin any balance exercises, let's talk about safety. Balance training, by definition, involves controlled instability, which means there's always some risk involved. For this reason, you should always have support available when practicing balance exercises. This might be a sturdy chair, a wall, a counter, or even another person. The support should be within easy reach, but not necessarily something you're holding onto constantly. Let's start with an assessment of your current balance abilities. Stand near a sturdy chair or wall that you can quickly grab if needed. Place your feet about hip-width apart and simply notice how stable you feel. Do you feel rock steady, Or do you notice small movements as your body constantly makes tiny adjustments to maintain balance? Both experiences are normal. Balance is actually a dynamic process of constant small adjustments rather than static stillness. Now, let's try the most basic version of single leg balance. Lift one foot just slightly off the ground. We're talking about an inch or less. You don't need to lift your knee high or create a dramatic pose. Simply shift your weight onto one leg and let the other foot hover just above the floor. Keep your supporting foot flat on the ground and your knee slightly bent, not locked straight. How long can you maintain this position? Don't worry if it's only a few seconds. That's a perfectly normal starting point. The goal isn't to achieve some arbitrary time standard. It's to establish your baseline and work on gradual improvement from there. If lifting your foot even slightly feels too challenging, you can start with what I call a kickstand position. Keep both feet on the ground, but shift most of your weight onto one leg while just lightly touching the toes of your other foot to the floor. This provides the balance challenge of single leg support while maintaining the security of having both feet in contact with the ground. Let's explore why single leg balance is so important for daily life. Every time you walk, you're essentially performing a series of single leg stands. Each step involves a moment where all your weight is supported by one leg while the other leg swings forward. If your single leg balance is compromised, your walking becomes less efficient and less stable. Consider other daily activities that require single leg balance: stepping into or out of a bathtub, putting on pants or shoes while standing, reaching for something while standing, or navigating stairs. All of these activities are much safer and easier when you have good single leg stability. As you practice single leg balance, you'll notice that it's not just about the leg you're standing on. Your entire body involved in maintaining stability. Your core muscles are working to keep your trunk stable. Your arms might move slightly to help with balance, and your ankle is constantly making small adjustments. This whole body integration is part of what makes balance training so valuable. You're not just exercising one muscle group, you're training your entire balance system. Let's work on some progressions for single leg balance. If you can comfortably balance on one leg for 5 to 10 seconds, try closing your eyes for just a moment. This removes visual input from your balance system, forcing your proprioception and inner ear to work harder. Start with just 1 or 2 seconds with eyes closed, and gradually increase as you feel comfortable. Another progression is to add gentle movements while balancing on one leg. Try slowly reaching forward with your arms, or gently swaying side to side. These movements challenge your balance system to maintain stability while your center of gravity shifts, which is exactly what happens during real-world activities. For those who find single leg balance particularly challenging, there are several modifications that can help. Try balancing next to a wall with your fingertips lightly touching the surface. The wall provides just enough sensory input to help with stability without actually supporting your weight. As you improve, you can gradually decrease the pressure of your fingertips until you're barely touching the wall. Another helpful modification is to practice single leg balance while seated. Lift one foot off the floor while sitting in a chair, and try to maintain that position. This removes the fear of falling, while still providing some balance challenge, and helping to build the strength and coordination needed for standing balance. The surface you stand on can also be modified to adjust the difficulty of balance training. Standing on a firm, level surface is easiest. Standing on a soft surface like a pillow or foam pad increases the challenge by creating an unstable surface that requires more active balance control. However, I don't recommend using unstable surfaces until you're comfortable with basic single leg balance on firm ground. Timing your balance practice can be integrated into daily routines in creative ways. Many people find that practicing balance while brushing their teeth works well. It's a natural 2-minute timer, and having the bathroom counter nearby provides automatic support if needed. Others prefer to practice during commercial breaks, while watching television, or while waiting for food to cook. The key to successful balance training is consistency and gradual progression. It's better to practice for just 30 seconds every day than to practice for 10 minutes once a week. Your balance system adapts to regular challenges. So frequent, brief practice sessions are most effective. Let me share a story about Eleanor, a 67-year-old client who came to me after a minor fall that had severely shaken her confidence. She had become afraid to walk without holding onto something and had started avoiding activities she previously enjoyed, like gardening and social outings. When we first tested her single-leg balance, she could only manage about 2 seconds before feeling like she needed to grab support. We started with the kickstand position, practicing for just a few seconds at a time while she held lightly onto a chair. After 2 weeks of daily practice, she could maintain the kickstand position for 30 seconds. Gradually, we progressed to lifting her foot slightly off the ground, then 2 longer holds, and eventually to balance with eyes closed. After 3 months of consistent practice, Eleanor could balance on one leg for over 20 seconds and felt confident walking without constant support. "I never thought I'd feel steady on my feet again," she told me. "Now I'm back to gardening, and I even went dancing with my husband last weekend. It's amazing how such a simple exercise gave me my confidence back." This transformation illustrates the profound impact that balance training can have on overall quality of life. It's not just about preventing falls, although that's certainly important. It's about maintaining the confidence and capability to engage fully in life's activities. As you work on your single-leg balance, pay attention to the patterns you notice. Do you balance better on one leg than the other? Do you feel more stable at certain times of day? Does your balance change based on how you're feeling physically or emotionally? This self-awareness helps you understand your personal balance challenges and progress. Some people notice that their balance is better in the morning when they're well rested, while others find they're more stable later in the day after they've been moving around. Some find that stress or anxiety affects their balance, while others notice that certain medications or health conditions influence their stability. All of this information is valuable for tailoring your practice and understanding your body's needs. Remember, everyone starts at a different point with balance training, and everyone progresses at their own pace. Your goal isn't to match someone else's abilities, it's to improve from your own starting point. Even small improvements in balance can have significant impacts on your daily function and confidence. The beauty of balance training is that it's self-limiting. Your body won't let you do more than you're capable of handling safely. If you feel unstable, your natural reflexes will have you reach for support or put your foot down. Trust these reflexes while gently challenging yourself to improve over time. Now, let's move to our final movement, one that brings together breathing, gentle movement, and relaxation in a way that's particularly beneficial for seniors. This movement helps calm your nervous system, improve your posture, and provide a peaceful conclusion to your daily movement practice. Movement 7. Breathing and gentle spinal rotation. Your daily reset as we reach the final movement in our Japanese-inspired senior wellness routine. I want to introduce you to a practice that serves as both a physical exercise and a mental reset. This movement combines deep, diaphragmatic breathing with gentle spinal rotation, creating a powerful tool for relaxation, posture improvement, and stress relief. In Japanese culture, the integration of breath and movement is fundamental to many practices, from martial arts to meditation, reflecting a deep understanding of the connection between physical and mental well-being. For seniors, this breathing and movement combination addresses several common concerns simultaneously. Many older adults develop shallow breathing patterns, often due to postural changes, stress, or reduced activity levels. Additionally, the spine tends to become stiffer with age, particularly in rotation, which can affect everything from turning to look behind you while driving to reaching for objects to your side. This final movement isn't about intensity or challenge in the way we might traditionally think of exercise. Instead, it's about restoration, integration, and creating a sense of calm completion. Think of it as your daily gift to yourself, a few minutes of intentional breathing and gentle movement that signals to your body and mind that you've taken care of yourself today. Let's begin by understanding why this combination of breathing and gentle spinal rotation is so powerful for seniors. First, let's talk about breathing. As we age, several factors can contribute to less efficient breathing. Postural changes, such as the forward head posture and rounded shoulders that often develop over time, can restrict the rib cage and limit the diaphragm's ability to function optimally. Stress, anxiety, and even the medications commonly used by seniors can all affect breathing patterns. Deep, diaphragmatic breathing has numerous benefits for seniors. It helps activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for the body's rest and digest response. This can help reduce stress, lower blood pressure, and promote better sleep. Additionally, proper breathing helps oxygenate the blood more efficiently, which can improve energy levels and cognitive function. The gentle spinal rotation component of this exercise addresses another common concern for seniors: spinal mobility, particularly in the thoracic spine, the middle section of your back. This area often becomes stiff due to prolonged sitting, poor posture, or simply the natural aging process. Limited thoracic rotation can affect your ability to turn and look behind you, reach across your body, or maintain good posture. Let's start with the breathing component. Whether you're sitting or standing, begin by finding your optimal posture. If you're sitting, scoot forward slightly in your chair so you're not leaning against the back. Place your feet flat on the floor, about hip width apart. If you're standing, use the same posture principles we've discussed throughout our session. Imagine that gentle string lifting the crown of your head toward the ceiling. Place one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly, just below your ribcage. This hand placement will help you monitor and improve your breathing pattern. Take a normal breath and notice which hand moves more. Many people find that their chest hand moves significantly while their belly hand barely moves at all. This indicates shallow chest breathing rather than the deeper, more efficient diaphragmatic breathing we're aiming for. Now, let's work on shifting to diaphragmatic breathing. Take a slow breath in through your nose, focusing on expanding your ribcage outward and allowing your belly to rise. The goal is for your belly hand to move more than your chest hand. This might feel awkward at first if you're used to chest breathing, but with practice, it becomes natural and automatic. As you breathe in, imagine you're gently inflating a balloon in your lower ribcage. Your ribs should expand outward, not just upward. This lateral expansion is key to efficient diaphragmatic breathing and helps maintain good posture by keeping your ribcage properly positioned. Exhale slowly through your mouth, allowing your belly to fall naturally and your ribs to gently draw back together. Don't force the exhale, just let it happen gradually and completely. The exhale should be longer than the inhale, which helps activate that parasympathetic nervous system response we discussed. Practice this breathing pattern for several breaths, focusing on the quality of each breath rather than the quantity. 4 to 6 conscious, deep breaths can be more beneficial than many shallow ones. Notice how this breathing affects your overall sense of relaxation and alertness. Now, let's add the gentle spinal rotation. As you breathe in, using your diaphragmatic breathing technique, slowly turn your upper body to the right. This isn't a dramatic twist. Think of it as gently wringing out a soft towel rather than trying to look behind you. Your hips should stay facing forward while your ribcage and shoulders turn to the right. The rotation should be smooth and controlled, matching the pace of your inhalation. At the end of your inhale, you'll be gently rotated to the right with your lungs comfortably full. Hold this position for just a moment, feeling the gentle stretch along your spine and the expansion in your ribcage. As you exhale, slowly return to center, again matching the movement to your breath. The return to center should take the entire length of your exhale, creating a slow, meditative movement that integrates breath and motion. Pause at center for a moment, then repeat the movement to the left. Breathe in as you gently rotate left. Hold briefly at the end of the inhale, then exhale as you return to center. This creates a complete cycle. Inhale right, exhale center. Inhale left, exhale center. Continue this pattern for several cycles, focusing on the coordination between your breathing and movement. You might notice that one direction feels easier or more comfortable than the other, which is perfectly normal. Don't try to force symmetry. Simply notice the differences and work within your comfortable range of motion. If you're seated, you can place your hands on your shoulders or cross them over your chest during the rotation. This helps you maintain good posture and prevents your arms from becoming a distraction during the movement. If you're standing, you can let your arms move naturally with the rotation or place your hands on your hips for additional stability. For those with limited spinal mobility, even very small rotations can be beneficial. The movement doesn't need to be large to be effective. Some of my clients start with rotations so subtle they're barely visible, but they still experience the benefits of combining breath with gentle spinal movement. This breathing and rotation exercise can be modified in numerous ways to accommodate different needs and preferences. If rotating while breathing feels too complex initially, you can separate the components. Spend a few minutes focusing only on diaphragmatic breathing, then spend a few minutes on gentle rotation with normal breathing. As the movements become more natural, you can combine them. For those who find sitting uncomfortable for extended periods, this exercise works beautifully while standing. The principles remain the same, but standing can sometimes make it easier to achieve good posture and full diaphragmatic breathing. If balance is a concern while standing, you can perform this exercise with your back against a wall. The wall provides support and stability while still allowing for the gentle rotation movement. Some people find that having the wall a reference point actually helps them achieve better posture and more effective breathing. The timing of this breathing and rotation exercise makes it particularly versatile. Many people find it an excellent way to transition from the activity of the day to the restfulness of evening. Doing this exercise about an hour before bedtime can help activate your parasympathetic nervous system and prepare your body for better sleep. Others prefer to use it as a midday reset, particularly if they spend long hours in seated positions. Taking 5 minutes to practice diaphragmatic breathing with gentle rotation can help counteract the effects of prolonged sitting and provide a mental and physical refresh for the rest of the day. This exercise is also excellent for managing stress and anxiety. The combination of deep breathing and gentle movement helps interrupt the stress response and can provide immediate calming effects. If you notice yourself feeling tense, anxious, or overwhelmed during the day, a few minutes of this breathing and rotation practice can help restore a sense of calm and balance. Let me share a story about Margaret, a 71-year-old client who came to me struggling with chronic stress and sleep problems. She had been dealing with caregiving responsibilities for her husband, and the constant stress was affecting her physical health as well as her emotional well-being. I taught Margaret this breathing and rotation exercise, a daily stress management tool. Initially, she was skeptical. "I don't see how just breathing differently is going to help with everything I'm dealing with," she said. But she agreed to try it for 2 weeks, practicing for just 5 minutes before bed each night. Within a week, Margaret reported that she was falling asleep more easily. After 2 weeks, she said she felt less physically tense throughout the day. By the end of a month, she had begun using the technique during stressful moments during the day, and she told me it had become one of her most valuable coping tools. "I never realized how shallow my breathing had become," she explained. "Just taking 5 minutes to breathe properly and move my spine gently has made such a difference in how I feel physically and emotionally. It's like I'm giving myself permission to relax, even in the middle of everything else that's happening." This story illustrates the profound impact that simple breathing and movement practices can have on overall well-being. It's not just about physical health, it's about creating moments of peace and self-care that support your ability to handle life's challenges. As you practice this breathing and rotation exercise, pay attention to how it affects not just your immediate physical sensations, but also your overall mood and energy levels. Many people notice that regular practice of diaphragmatic breathing helps them feel more centered and calm throughout the day, even during challenging situations. The beauty of this exercise is that it can be done anywhere, anytime you need a moment of calm and restoration. Whether you're in a doctor's waiting room sitting in traffic, or simply need a break during a busy day. A few conscious breaths combined with gentle movement can provide immediate benefits. Remember, this isn't about achieving perfect form or meeting some external standard. This is about creating a personal practice that supports your well-being and helps you end your movement routine on a note of calm and completion. Some days your breathing might feel deep and easy. Other days it might feel more challenging. Both experiences are normal and valuable. Integration and daily practice. I know that we've explored all 7 movements that form the foundation of Japanese senior wellness. Let's talk about how to integrate them into a sustainable daily practice. The beauty of these movements lies not in their individual complexity, but in their collective power when practiced consistently over time. The Japanese concept of kaizen, continuous small improvement, is particularly relevant here. You don't need to master all 7 movements immediately or perform them perfectly to begin experiencing benefits. Instead, focus on consistency and gradual improvement, trusting that small daily efforts will compound into significant long-term benefits. Let me suggest a practical approach to incorporating these movements into your daily routine. Think of your day in 3 natural segments: morning, midday, and evening. Each segment can accommodate different movements based on their specific benefits and your energy levels throughout the day. Your morning routine might include Radio Taiso to awaken your body, gentle ankle mobility to address overnight stiffness, and a few minutes of breathing and spinal rotation to set a calm, centered tone for your day. This combination takes just 5 to 10 minutes, but provides comprehensive preparation for daily activities during your midday hours. When your body is naturally more warm and mobile, you might incorporate your Sanpo walking practice and supported squats. These movements help counteract the effects of prolonged sitting and provide energizing activity that doesn't interfere with nighttime sleep. This portion of your routine might take 10 to 15 minutes. Your evening practice could include the chair sit to stand exercises, single leg balance practice, and conclude with breathing and spinal rotation to help transition from the day's activities to restful evening. This creates a bookend effect with your morning practice, providing structure and consistency to your self-care routine. However, I want to emphasize that this is just one possible structure. The most important factor is finding an approach that fits naturally into your existing routines and feels sustainable for your lifestyle. Some people prefer to do all 7 movements in one 15-minute session, while others like to spread them throughout the day. Both approaches are valid and effective. Start with what feels manageable. If the idea of adding 7 new movements to your daily routine feels overwhelming, begin with just 2 or 3 that appeal to you most or address your most pressing concerns. Once these become habitual, gradually add the others. Remember, the goal is sustainable long-term practice, not short-term perfection. Consider linking your movement practice to existing habits. Perhaps you could do your ankle mobility while your morning coffee brews, practice supported squats while waiting for your tea to steep, or do your breathing exercises during your usual evening television time. These connections make new habits easier to remember and maintain. Keep track of your practice, but don't let tracking become a burden. A simple checkmark on a calendar or a brief note about how you feel can help you stay motivated and recognize your progress. Many people find that seeing their consistency visually represented helps maintain motivation during challenging times. Expect fluctuations in your ability and motivation. Some days your movements will feel easy and energizing. Other days might feel more challenging. Both experiences are normal parts of the process. The key is showing up consistently, even if some days your practice is shorter or less intense than others. Don't hesitate to modify movements based on your daily needs. If you're experiencing increased stiffness, you might spend extra time on mobility exercises. If you're feeling less stable than usual, you might do more balance work with additional support. Your body's wisdom should guide your practice more than any external schedule or expectation. Safety considerations and adaptations as we incorporate these 7 movements into our daily lives. Safety must always be our primary concern. The beauty of these Japanese-inspired exercises lies in their gentleness and adaptability. But that doesn't mean we should approach them without thoughtful consideration of our individual needs and limitations. Each person over 60 brings a unique history of health challenges, previous injuries, medications, and current physical capabilities to their movement practice. What feels perfectly safe and appropriate for one person might require significant modification for another. This isn't a limitation. It's simply the reality of honoring our body's individual stories and current needs. Let's address some common concerns and modifications that can help make these movements accessible to nearly everyone. If you're dealing with balance issues or have a history of falls, every single one of these exercises can be modified to provide support and increase safety. For Radio Taiso, you can perform all movements while seated in a sturdy chair or while standing with your back against a wall. The benefits remain significant even with these modifications. For those with joint replacements, particularly hip or knee replacements, it's crucial to follow your surgeon-specific guidelines about movement restrictions. Generally speaking, general range of motion exercises like our ankle mobility work and breathing exercises are well tolerated. But movements like squats or floor sitting might need to be modified or avoided depending on your specific surgical history. If you're taking medications that affect balance, such as blood pressure medications, certain pain medications, or medications for anxiety or depression, you may find that your balance changes throughout the day as medication levels fluctuate. This is important information to share with your healthcare provider, and it means you should be especially cautious with balance exercises during times when your medications might be affecting your stability. For those dealing with arthritis, these gentle movements can actually be beneficial for joint health when performed within comfortable ranges of motion. The key is distinguishing between the mild discomfort of moving stiff joints and the sharp pain that indicates potential harm. If any movement causes sharp, shooting, or severe pain, stop immediately and consult with your healthcare provider. Osteoporosis requires special consideration, particularly for movements involving spinal flexion or rotation. While our gentle spinal rotation exercise is generally safe for people with osteoporosis, it's important to move slowly and avoid any forceful twisting motions. If you have severe osteoporosis, discuss these exercises with your doctor before beginning. Cardiac conditions don't necessarily preclude these gentle exercises, but they do require awareness and possibly medical clearance. Most of these movements are low intensity and shouldn't cause significant cardiac stress. But if you have unstable heart conditions, recent cardiac events, or poorly controlled blood pressure, please check with your cardiologist before starting any new exercise routine. Vision problems can make balance exercises more challenging, but they don't make them impossible. If you have limited vision, ensure that you have adequate support available and practice in familiar, safe environments. Some people with vision impairments actually develop exceptional proprioceptive awareness, which can make them quite skilled at balance exercises once they build confidence. Hearing impairments can also affect balance, as the inner ear plays a crucial role in balance control. If you have hearing loss or inner ear problems, you may find balance exercises more challenging, but they can also be more beneficial as your body learns to rely more heavily on other balance systems. Let's talk about environmental safety considerations. Choose practice spaces that are free from obstacles, have good lighting, and provide easy access to support if needed. Remove throw rugs or other tripping hazards, and ensure you have appropriate footwear that provides good traction without being too restrictive. Weather considerations are important for your walking practice. Icy sidewalks, wet surfaces, and extreme temperatures all require modifications to your routine. Don't let pride or rigid adherence to routine override common sense about safety. Indoor walking, mall walking, or even marching in place can substitute for outdoor walks when conditions aren't ideal. Recognizing progress and celebrating success of the challenges of gentle, consistent movement practices is that progress can be subtle and gradual. Unlike more intense exercise programs that might produce dramatic short-term changes. The benefits of these Japanese-inspired movements accumulate slowly but profoundly over time. Learning to recognize and celebrate your progress is crucial for maintaining motivation and appreciating the value of your consistent efforts. Progress in senior movement isn't just about becoming stronger or more flexible. It's about maintaining function, preventing decline, and enhancing quality of life. Physical progress might manifest as improved morning mobility, reduced stiffness after sitting for long periods, better balance confidence, or increased endurance for daily activities. You might notice that you can stand from chairs more easily, that walking feels more stable and comfortable, or that you sleep better after your evening movement routine. Emotional and psychological progress is equally important. Many seniors experience increased confidence, reduced anxiety about falling, better mood, and a greater sense of control over their physical well-being. These changes can be just as significant as physical improvements and often occur before measurable physical changes become apparent. Functional progress refers to improvements in your ability to perform daily activities. This might mean being able to reach higher shelves more easily, having less difficulty getting in and out of cars, feeling more stable when turning to look behind you, or being able to participate in activities you had been avoiding due to physical concerns. Keep a simple record of your experiences, not necessarily to track specific metrics, but to help you recognize patterns and progress over time. Note how you feel before and after your movement sessions, any improvements in daily activities, and changes in your overall sense of well-being. Remember that progress isn't always linear. You may have weeks where you feel like you're improving steadily, followed by periods where progress seems to stall or even reverse slightly. This is completely normal and doesn't indicate that your practice isn't working. Bodies adapt and change in complex ways, and temporary setbacks often precede significant improvements. Building community and social connection. While these movements can certainly be practiced alone, there's tremendous value in connecting with others who share similar goals for healthy aging. The Japanese concept of community involvement in wellness activities, from group Radio Taiso sessions to walking clubs, reflects an understanding that social connection enhances the benefits of physical activity. Consider inviting friends or family members to join you in learning and practicing these movements. Not only does this provide accountability and motivation, but it also creates opportunities for social interaction that contribute to overall well-being. Many people find that they're more consistent with their movement practice when they have companions or supporters. If you live in a senior community or have access to senior centers, you might explore the possibility of starting a group focused on these gentle movements. Many communities are eager to offer wellness programs for their residents, and these movements are perfect for group settings because they require no special equipment and can be easily modified for different ability levels. Family involvement can be particularly meaningful. Grandchildren often enjoy learning simple exercises they can do with their grandparents, creating bonding opportunities while modeling healthy habits for the younger generation. Adult children may also appreciate learning movements they can practice with their aging parents, troubleshooting common challenges with the best intentions and preparation. You may encounter obstacles to maintaining your movement practice. Let's address some common challenges and strategies for overcoming them. Lack of motivation is perhaps the most common obstacle to consistent movement practice. On days when motivation is low, remind yourself that even 2 or 3 minutes of gentle movement is beneficial. Lower your expectations rather than abandoning your practice entirely. Often, starting with just one simple movement will naturally lead to doing more. Physical discomfort or pain can be discouraging, but it's important to distinguish between normal adaptation discomfort and pain that indicates potential injury. Mild muscle soreness after beginning a new movement routine is normal and typically improves within a few days. Sharp, sudden, or severe pain requires immediate attention and possibly medical evaluation. Time constraints are often cited as barriers to exercise, but these movements are specifically designed to fit into small time slots throughout the day. Remember that consistency is more important than duration. 5 minutes every day is more beneficial than one long session once a week. Boredom or loss of interest can develop over time with any routine. Combat this by varying your practice location, trying different music or no music at all, practicing outdoors when possible, or focusing on different aspects of each movement. You might spend 1 week concentrating particularly on your posture, another week on breathing quality, and another on smoothness of movement. Illness or injury setbacks are inevitable parts of life, especially as we age. When you're unable to maintain your normal routine due to illness or injury, focus on what you can do rather than what you can't. Even deep breathing exercises can be beneficial during recovery periods, and gentle movements might actually help with the healing process. The science behind the practice. Understanding the scientific basis for these movements can enhance your appreciation for their benefits and increase your motivation to maintain consistent practice. Research in gerontology, exercise physiology, and neuroscience has provided substantial evidence for the effectiveness of the types of movements we've been exploring. Studies on balance training consistently show that even modest improvements in single-leg standing time correspond to significant reductions in fall risk. The proprioceptive training inherent in balance exercises helps maintain the neural pathways that control stability, which naturally decline with age but remain remarkably plastic and responsive to training. Research on walking and cardiovascular health demonstrates that even short bouts of moderate walking can provide significant health benefits for seniors. The post-meal walking practice, common in Japanese culture, has been specifically studied and shown to improve blood sugar control, aid digestion, and contribute to better cardiovascular health. Breathing research has revealed the profound connections between diaphragmatic breathing and overall oral health. Deep breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, reduces stress hormones, lowers blood pressure, and can even influence immune function. For seniors, these benefits are particularly valuable given the increased health challenges that often accompany aging. Mobility and flexibility. Research emphasizes the use it or lose it principle that governs joint health. Regular gentle movement through full ranges of motion helps maintain joint lubrication, prevents adhesions, and preserves the flexibility needed for daily activities. This is particularly important for seniors, as joint stiffness can cascade into broader functional limitations if left unaddressed. Strength training research for seniors consistently shows that even modest resistance activities can significantly impact functional capacity. The supported squats and sit-to-stand exercises we've practiced provide functional strength training that directly translates to improved daily living activities. Adapting your practice over time. Your movement practice should evolve as your body changes, your circumstances shift, and your experience deepens. What works perfectly for you today might need modification 6 months or a year from now. And that's not just acceptable, it's ideal. A truly sustainable practice is one that grows and adapts with you throughout your aging journey. As you become more comfortable and confident with these movements, you might find opportunities to add gentle progressions or variations. Perhaps your balance improves enough that you can hold single leg stands longer, or try them with eyes closed for brief periods. Maybe your strength increases enough that you can perform chair stands with less hand support, or try supported squats with a slightly deeper range of motion. Conversely, there may be times when your practice needs to become simpler or more supported. Illness, injury, medication changes, or simply the natural progression of aging might require you to modify your movements or add more support. This isn't failure or regression, it's wisdom. The goal is always to work appropriately with your current capabilities while gently encouraging improvement where possible. Seasonal adaptations can help maintain consistency throughout the year. Summer might allow for more outdoor walking and movement, while winter might shift your practice more indoors. Your energy levels and joint comfort might vary with weather changes, and adapting your routine accordingly shows respect for your body's natural rhythms. Long-term vision and commitment. As we conclude our comprehensive exploration of these 7 life-enhancing movements, I want you to consider the long-term vision for your movement practice. This isn't just about feeling better tomorrow or next week. It's about maintaining your independence, vitality, and quality of life for years and decades to come. Think about the person you want to be at 75, 80, or even 90. What activities do you want to still be enjoying? What level of independence do you hope to maintain? How do you want to feel in your body as you continue aging? These movements, practiced consistently over time, are powerful tools for creating that future. The Japanese understanding of longevity isn't about dramatic interventions or complex solutions. It's about simple, sustainable practices that honor the body's natural wisdom while gently encouraging optimal function. The movements we've explored today embody this philosophy perfectly. They're accessible to nearly everyone, require no special equipment or facilities, and become more valuable with consistent practice over time. Your commitment to these movements is ultimately a commitment to yourself, to your future independence, to your continued ability to participate fully in life, and to the understanding that age doesn't have to mean accepting decline as inevitable. Every time you practice these movements, you're making a statement that your health and well-being are priorities worth investing in. Remember that this journey is uniquely yours. Your starting point, your rate of progress, your challenges, and your victories will all be different from anyone else's. That's not just okay, it's perfect. Your body has its own wisdom, its own timeline, and its own way of responding to caring. Consistent attention. Your daily gift to yourself. As we bring our time together to a close, I want to leave you with this thought. These 7 movements are not just exercises. They're not tasks to check off a list or obligations to fulfill. They're daily gifts you can give to yourself. Gifts of movement, of breath, of presence, of self-care. Each morning when you practice your Radio Taiso, you're giving yourself the gift of awakening gently and preparing your body for the day ahead. Every time you take a mindful walk, you're giving yourself the gift of fresh air, gentle exercise, and connection with your environment. When you practice your balance exercises, you're giving yourself the gift of confidence and stability. Your breathing practice is a gift of calm and centeredness that you can access anytime, anywhere. These aren't burdens to bear or requirements to meet. They're opportunities to connect with your body, to honor its needs, and to support its continued ability to carry you through life with grace and strength. On days when motivation is low, remember this: you deserve these gifts. Your body deserves this kindness and attention. Your future self will thank you for the consistency and care you show today. The path of healthy aging isn't about fighting against the natural process of growing older. It's about aging with intention, wisdom, and grace. It's about maintaining the physical capabilities that support your independence while accepting the changes that come naturally with time. It's about finding joy in movement regardless of your current abilities or limitations. These 7 movements offer you a pathway to exactly this kind of intentional, graceful aging. They connect you to the wisdom of Japanese longevity practices while honoring your individual needs and capabilities. They require no gym membership, no expensive equipment, no complicated schedules. They ask only for your consistency, your attention, and your willingness to care for yourself with the same kindness you would show a dear friend. Starting today, building tomorrow. Your journey with these movements begins now, in this moment. You don't need to wait for the perfect time, the right equipment, or ideal circumstances. You can start immediately with just one movement, practiced for just 1 minute, with complete attention and care. Perhaps you'll begin with those gentle ankle circles we learned, bringing mobility and circulation to feet that have carried you faithfully through decades of life. Maybe you'll start with a few conscious breaths, allowing your nervous system to remember what true relaxation feels like. You might choose to practice standing up from your chair with a little more intention and control than usual. Whatever you choose as your starting point, approach it with curiosity rather than judgment, with patience rather than pressure, with kindness rather than criticism. Your body is incredibly wise and responsive. Give it consistent, gentle attention, and it will reward you with improved function, greater comfort, and enhanced confidence. As you continue practicing these movements day after day, week after week, month after month, you'll begin to understand what the Japanese have known for generations, that true wellness isn't about dramatic transformations or extreme measures. It's about small, consistent actions taken with love, attention, and respect for the miraculous vessel that is your body. You have everything you need to begin this journey. You have a body that, regardless of its current limitations or challenges, is capable of responding positively to gentle, consistent movement. You have the wisdom that comes with decades of life experience. You have the understanding that your health and well-being are worth investing in. Most importantly, you have this moment, right now, to make a choice that honors your commitment to aging with vitality, grace, and joy. These 7 movements are your tools, your pathway, and your daily practice of self-love. Use them well, use them consistently, and use them with the confidence that every gentle movement, every conscious breath, every moment of mindful attention is contributing to a future filled with strength, stability, and continued engagement with all the beauty life has to offer. The wisdom of Japanese longevity is now yours to practice and embody. Your journey toward more vital, confident, and joyful aging begins with your very next breath, your very next movement, your very next moment of choosing to care for yourself with the consistency and kindness you deserve. Welcome to your new daily practice. Welcome to your path of graceful, intentional aging. Welcome to the gift of movement, breath, and mindful self-care that will serve you well for all the years to come.